It's just symbiotically related to fire. Why isn't it a grass type?
So this here is the one you technically can't get, right?
Yeah.
Eternal Flower, Floette.
It's always flower.
It is a mythical legendary that you can't have.
I think he's actually notably strong and he can't evolve.
Yeah, it's... Wait, is there actually, like, stats that show the full thing for it?
Yes, Eternal Flower. He's... Oh god, yeah, he's actually pretty strong.
120. It's really, really good with specials, but it's pretty vulnerable to regular attacks.
But it's far too... It's like strong as Florges, maybe stronger.
But yeah, so this is Floette, and then it evolved into Florges. Florges is a pretty over-the-top design.
And it's not a grass type!
Yeah. Which is making Shin rage. But this also is further evidence for him why Celebi should have been fairy type. Because if fairy, which is a very grassy looking thing, but is
all
actually
grass types
fairy
should be
looking,
fairies.
That's not true.
No.
No. But the fact that plant lifey themed things can be not at all grass type and can be fairy type, much like Whimsicott and Cottony.
I mean, but also it's literally a flower.
Yeah. That is more argument for why Celebi should probably be fairy instead of psychic. But there are no mistakes even if there's additions that go back in time. So, this is Florges. Not exceptionally one of my favorites, but not terrible design. I get what they're going for. And then Skiddo, which is cute. It's a little grassy goat man. And then he becomes Go-Goat, which is one of the sillier names. And that's actually its Japanese name as well. Go-Goat.
They didn't really try on that.
It is a goat. That's about all I can say. I mean, it's not a bad design. I like Skiddo a lot more because it's still cute, and cute goats are amazing. Ugly goats are but cute goats are great. It's the mount Pokemon. Can you actually ride Go-Goat?
Yes.
Is it the only one you can ride?
No.
Oh. Can you ride Ponyta?
No, you'll die.
Ash didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he got burnt on his hand and then later rode it.
And then he died.
No. He's still in the anime.
No, yeah, but the rest of the anime is in the afterlife.
No. Here's Pancham. I like Pancham.
Ash is in a coma because he died.
But that's just a theory. A game theory. Okay.
Game master.
So here's Pancham. I like Pancham. Pancham is cute.
He'll hurt you.
He's fun. He's a fighting type. And then he learns to be cruel and becomes a big man called Pangoro. It actually says on it, the bow super slight, which is a bamboo leaf. Something about it learns dark, bad, underhanded fighting types, and that's how it evolves. So it gets taller because it learns underhanded fighting types. Fighting techniques.
It learns dark types.
Yeah, it learns underhanded fighting types. So any other dark fighting that there was before...
There wasn't.
There wasn't? Okay, so any other dark fighting-looking things, like maybe Shiftry and Nuzleaf, which look like they punchy punch, things like that, it was learning about them, and that's how it got taller.
And bad. He's the daunting Pokemon, and he'll beat you up. Look at that coat.
Let's see what its attack is. Its physical attack is 124.
Oh god, his speed is terrible.
Well, that's because he learned underhanded, not
good
fast
moves.
Technique moves. And then interesting Pokemon that's probably not good for fighting again, Furfrou.
Oh, shiny Furfrou. Whoa.
I like that coloration.
I like Furfrou, kinda.
I like any doggo. You're not gonna get me to dislike a doggo unless you like deliberately. Even then, it'd be hard work. Has a lot of different forms. You can change it like a...
But it'll revert eventually. But
a fashion-y place. I don't remember what it's called.
But they're all kind of underwhelmingly strong because they have an interesting gimmick.
What's its gimmick besides that? Oh, you mean because it has that gimmick, it has to have bad stats? Yeah, it has a speed of 102. Everything else is below 100.
Oh, he's not terrible. He's actually better than I thought.
It's not in game though.
Yeah, it could be actually as a physical attacker.
Its physical attack is 80.
80's not bad. It's just not great.
In my head, if it's not over 100, it's not good for in game.
I mean, it's not good for competitive stuff. No.
anyway, it's a cool poodle doggo that you can fashion at fashion-y fashion. I feel like it should be something you could do for every Pokemon if you can do it for one, but I can understand why they won't let you do it for every single one.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be dealing with, if it stopped at Furfrou, you'd be dealing with...
too many monkeys.
6,760 models for every Pokemon.
And there are Pokemon that are, like, unknown.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be able to fashion unknown anyway. And then Esper, which is kind of like Furfrou's line a little bit. No, that's a fashion-y kind of...
No.
You use it in the... Oh, yeah, no, they got rid of the, like, Pokemon fashion contest thingy, didn't they?
I don't know. And those never involved fashion, actually. Involved just performance.
Yeah,
they're called Pokemon contests.
That's what it was called.
Which is a funny name. It's like an animal contest.
To me, this also seems like a line that would be mostly for that kind of thing.
I don't...
Anyway, so Esper has seen a lot of things, and Looker accidentally kicked one and then felt really, really, really bad.
Wouldn't you if you kicked a cat?
Oh, absolutely. And so it's Esper, and then it becomes Meowstick, which walks on... This is Meowth 3.
They have different stats between genders, and they're okay, and they have eyes in their ears.
It seems like it
you
could have been...
You can't see it in their art, but they open... Their ears, like, unfold like an eye, like, spot on them, which is what contains their psychic powers for some reason.
It seems like these could have been a psychic dark type, just based on their design, in my opinion. They're not, but it seems like they could have been.
They don't have to be.
Yeah, it's not mandatory. It can either be prankster or competitive, which farther lends to the idea that at least the male one could be dark type. Because prankster sounds like a pretty dark type trait.
It's a pretty...
Status category moves are increased by a speed of 1.
Exactly, it's really good.
Moves increased by this are used on dark type opponents will fail, though. So yeah, it sounds like it's pretty dark type.
Really? Really? Prankster doesn't work on dark types?
Guess not.
That is weird.
Because dark types are already pranksters, I suppose. Another one that can have no guard, and by that I mean it only can have no guard.
Really?
I do like this line. There are, again, people who complain because they're like, it's just a sword.
I mean, it is, but...
But if there's anything that could be a floating object and also be a creature that would work for Pokemon, a sword is a pretty good one. Its shiny is super nice.
It's weird. It's
I like edgy, it. But... It's a sword that has a sheath, and it is a ghost sword. It's spooky. It's based on some myth.
It's a gook. It is?
I think so. That's a racist term. It is.
This is why we can't have nice things.
And then it becomes Doublade when it evolves, which means there's 2 swords now.
It just multiplies.
Yeah, when it evolves, it's more. That's how it happens. So it is Nidangil. And it is Nido. I do like this line. Again, the shiny still looks really nice. Is it a decent for combat kind of Pokemon?
Not yet. It's not even fully evolved.
No, I mean like the line.
Yes. It absolutely.
Is it a tank for its shield form?
Well, the form it changes between mid-battle.
Oh yeah, when it's attacked versus when it attacks.
No, when it uses an attack type move, it becomes a sword, and when it uses anything else, it becomes a shield. It also learns some really good moves.
It should learn Wonder Guard, but instead it learns Stance Change because it has to have that.
And its signature move is King's Shield, which is a dang good move.
Okay, so it's an interesting Pokemon that has 2 forms that it can switch between switch between during battle. That's what I'm trying to say. Those are words. It's pretty cool. I like it. This is shield form. This is blade form. They are... when it's in blade form, its attack is higher, if I remember correctly. When it's in shield form, it's obviously has higher defense. Let's see. It only has 60 for HP, though, so it's not very healthy of a man.
Or fast.
Its attack or defense will be 150 depending on its form.
Which is huge.
Really high. Like, really high. Its speed, though, is also a pretty big disadvantage on this man.
Yeah, King's Shield is its ultimate move. It's like protect, but it lowers attack, I think.
It takes defensive stance while it protects itself from damage. It
Partially
also partially lowers the attack stack of it.
Okay, so that's pretty nasty.
That's like 2 or 3 tiers.
It's 2.
2.
Which is enough to cut it in half, basically.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good fighter. You have to have a plan, though, because if you stay in defense mode, the attacks won't do as much damage, but if you do attacks, you're going to be vulnerable, so you have to be ready for the kind of consequences of what you do. On the bright side, though, its combination makes it resistant to a lot of things. It's immune to normal, fighting, poison, and takes half damage from steel, dragon, 1/4 damage from bug, half damage from rock, psychic, flying, ice, and grass.
Grass.
Which basically means the biggest things you gotta worry about are other ghosts, dark types, and fire types.
Hell is other ghosts.
It is pretty... I mean, it's got a pretty decent typing. That's a good combination. That's pretty... Is it very late game to find it?
I don't know.
And then you have Spritzy. It's obviously a fairy type. Look at it.
It's a Pokemon Y Pokemon exclusive.
It's a perfume Pokemon. Oh, it is a perfume Pokemon.
It looks like it'll become like a plague doctor or something.
But no, it becomes more perfume.
It just becomes more perfume. Damn it.
Yeah. It's Aromatisse. It's okay.
Aromavale, I've never heard of that move.
I don't
ability.
Dislike it. It's not like I think it's uncreative. Perfume's an interesting idea for a Pokemon. It just... They made it look as girly as they possibly could have, basically. And I feel like even if I were a girl, the idea of making it look really girly would seem pandering to me.
I'm going to run to the Red Room.
The Red Room? You're going to go die? Don't. Please.
I'll be fine.
Don't. Well, that's even worse. That means you're killing someone. Okay, so here's Swirlix. Swirlix is like a... Yeah, it's... Thank you for telling me about your restroom habits. So this is Swirlix. It is a cotton candy. It have a silly face. Shin says he doesn't like it while talking to me through the bathroom door. It becomes Slurpuff, which has the blep going on, and it is now a meringue instead of a cotton candy. And it have a cherry on its head, but that cherry is part of it. So yeah. There are good fairy types, and then there are these types of fairy types where I'm like, I see why they made it, but okay. Inkay! So 1, Inkay is a jerk, it stole Meowth's melon. 2, Inkay has the most bizarre and unintuitive, potentially frustrating evolution rule. You can only evolve it while it levels up while you're holding the system upside down. I understand why that's what they're doing with the idea of the water type Pokemon they're going with is this critter. But if you don't know that...
And who is going to know without some guide telling you?
Yeah, if you don't know that, how are you supposed to find it out without looking
I wouldn't be surprised if literally nobody just guessed this.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah, the only way it might happen is people who are, like, bored laying on their couch playing upside down like some people do. Accidentally stumbling upon it. But they wouldn't know that's what caused it. They just think, oh, well, it leveled up and it evolved.
Right, and the odds of that are infinitesimal.
It also takes 4 times damage to Bug, which is very unusual.
I mean, yeah, Bug's not the most menacing thing to take quad damage from.
Bug Buzz?
It has the amazing move ability Contrary, and It actually has a move that... it has the move Superpower, I think, which... It does huge damage at the cost of lowering your attack, I think.
Which means if you have Contrary, it's pretty effective.
You do massive damage at the cost of now your attack is even stronger.
Yeah.
The only problem is he's not quite fast enough to murder everybody with it.
Yeah, so... But yeah, he needs to give Meowth's melon back, or give him a new melon.
He's a dark type. He can keep the melon.
No. Meowth is sweet.
Look how evil he is. He's an upside-down firefly squid.
Then it becomes
sure
Malamar with
spots.
bioluminescent boobs on its head.
He's a mind control Pokemon.
No, the overturning Pokemon.
No, he does mind control. It's in his lore.
Okay, well, it's the overturning.
He also weighs more than some dead people.
But yeah, what's its speed? Its speed is 73.
And its attack isn't that high. Mainly only gets by using... Oh, it also has a unique ability called Topsy-Turvy. I don't remember what it does.
That sounds like something that Spinda should have.
All stat changes affecting the target are inverted. So if your opponent just buffed themselves a bunch, you can make it so they actually debuff themselves. It's a very situational move. And
Again, though, it sounds like a Spinda ability.
The problem is your opponent's super buffed, and you try to use it on them, they'll probably just kill you before you can do it. Because they'll be faster and stronger than you, probably.
It's Calamanero in both
Spinda
Japanese
might
and German.
Be able to learn it.
It could be. And then this guy, Binacle.
I like how the hand is like, ugh, that guy.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
They don't like each other. If I remember, it's actually like part of it.
Well, it really sucks for them.
Two-handed Pokemon. It's based on a Barnacle. It can't move. It actually can in the game, but it can't move because it's a Barnacle. Once it's latched, it's latched. I don't know if that's actually the truth.
Penis fencing.
Please, don't. It's 4 times weak to grass. That's a really bad thing to do. Being 4 times weak is bad. And then it becomes a man that is made up of a bunch of barnacles stuck together. It's only a Pokemon once 2 barnacles get together and don't like each other. Otherwise, they're just barnacles. Then they become a Pokemon. And then, yeah, it becomes a man made of barnacles, which is weird. It's a rock-water type, though. So, rock is how you make another type bad, kind of. Especially
Pickpocket, that's his hidden ability? Sniper? Pickpocket? He doesn't look the sword.
Yeah. It's shiny, it looks kind of nice.
It looks weird.
It looks like a... No, it doesn't. It looks like a friggin', like, Zord type thing.
His head is a hand.
His head is a hand. With an eye on it. Or 2 eyes underneath it.
This is Skrelp.
And this is, yeah, the opposite one.
He can have adaptability, which is dang good. He's a bit slow, though.
Skrelp is the second Horsey that took a long time to happen. But this is based on an actual sea dragon as opposed to a seahorse. And it becomes Dragalge. It is based on... I forget what the type of them is called. Is it Sea Dragon? Yeah. Leafy Sea Dragon. This is what it's based off of. They're pretty interesting little critters. Its coloration, though, I feel like they really missed an opportunity because Leafy Sea Dragon and that kind of creature are really, really colorful, and they made it like...
Well, he's poison. Poison's also colorful.
Yeah, they made it really plain, and so that's my biggest disappointment with that one. I feel like they could have gone more colorful with the idea. Can you get that?
No, it's bad.
And then you have Clauncher. He is the Pistol Shrimp Pokemon. He is
the other version's equivalent.
Pistol Shrimp Pokemon? Okay. He can either be a cyan or a red lobster, but he's not a lobster, he's a shrimp. He is the Water Gun Pokemon. Aura and Pulse moves are increased by 50%. And then it gets to become bigger, and then it's called Clawitzer. And then its arm is bigger than its actual body.
It's a gun.
And then Shin loves this one.
Look at him, he's cute.
Helioptile, he's such a cutie.
And there's sunburned Helioptile.
Yeah, the shiny's kind
How
of
do you
strange.
sunburn something covered in scales?
You can I think they can still get sunburned.
His head is very ovoid.
Yeah, it's cute.
My problem with the neck, I prefer the next day if it weren't for one thing.
And then there's Heliolisk.
The fact that his upper eye extends off of his head.
But there are actual creatures that their eyes
Solar
extend
power
off of.
is a weird ability.
Sunshine Pokemon special attack raises by 1 point.
If you're solar powered, the sun hurts you.
Yeah, apparently so. That's dumb. But yeah, his little fanny thing can stick out as well, but usually it's dripped down. And then you have Tyrant. Shin doesn't care so much for this one. Or its evolution, Tyrantrum. They're cool. They're T-Rexes, as their name would imply. However, there's already been the Tyranitar line, which is pretty beloved. Although it doesn't look much like a Tyrannosaurus. And then Amora, which we love Amora,
Look,
even
cute.
if it has a really bad typing
It's happy
combination.
and it has a little diamond on it, and it's absolutely miserable in battle.
Yeah, it can.
It has an interesting move too.
What's its special ability?
Refrigerate increases the power of normal type moves, and then changes them into ice type moves. And ice is a good type for attacks.
Yeah, it's just the most glass of glass cannons.
So its ability is it? Oh, and ice types are usually slow. Let's see how fast Aurora's evolved form is.
Oh Jesus! And this is
Aurora's.
Aurora's, which
and
is beautiful.
Look at that shiny. Yeah, its speed is
58.
So you know what? Yeah, it's a tank with the worst defensive typing.
Yeah.
Isn't that tragic?
Yeah, these are the two weakest types defensively, are rock and ice.
And its stats are only good for tanking.
And one thing that's also extremely weird about that is rock and ice, hypothetically, are two types that, since they are solid, should be resistant to physical types, but both are weak against fighting.
I mean, one resists normal ice. Wait, what's its highest? What are its attack stats, actually? I'm curious.
Probably not great.
Alright, his special attack is good.
It's 99.
Does
that
it
one's
learn
77.
Power Gem?
How would I know that? Where would that even be? I'm not going to search everything.
It's rock. Nope, it doesn't even learn the rock type, the special rock type attack. It learns ancient power, I guess, but poor thing is so mistreated by the core games.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful.
This is another reason I like the spin-off games, is because the Pokemon that would normally completely suck
are
don't
pretty
suck.
decent.
No,
because
they suck
the weaknesses are less extreme.
Right, and also having a low, you don't need to have a high speed to be worth anything.
Yeah. So then we go from these super beautiful but unfortunately very weak Pokemon to
Sylveon,
the best shiny, I would say, at least one of them. It's a really it's hard to say. Eevee has a lot of good shiny.
Sylveon's actually a tank.
It's the last
Has another fun move that changes the type of normal type attacks to make them stab. Also, Sylveon is really slow. I mean, you wouldn't know. You couldn't tell by looking at him, could you?
Yeah. Especially because it's so slender.
Yeah, but its speed is like 60 or something.
This is currently the last Eevee evolution. It's super sweet and adorable, and I want to give it all of the hugs.
It's not one of my favorites, but I don't.
This, though, is how you make a fairy that still falls into stereotypical fairy things and still make it look great. I really like the design of Sylveon a lot.
It's so frilly.
And we're going to pause on number 700 because food is ready.
I don't